So, welcome everyone finally to yet another episode of the Life Strat podcast, where I, Doc Ere, also known as Juan Ochoa, bring on a guest and get to know them a little bit more, from their career to their life morals. And today, we have a very special guest, in my opinion. Today, joining me is the person who I believe gave me the initial drive to push forward as an individual and pursue my entrepreneurial life. The person whom I call my mentor. The one, the only, Mr. Bailey Stevens.
How's it going, everybody?
So, Bailey, I haven't done one of these in like a month and a half, I think, 2 months. It's been a while. You're the first person on here that's back, obviously, the returning episode. How do you feel?
Feels pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty much on the same boat as you. I'm trying to get back into all this too, as well. So I know how you feel right now.
Hopefully, this goes as smooth as possible. I'm pretty sure it will. So, you all know how this goes. I ask questions. We have 20 minutes, and at the end, he gets to ask me a single question. Uh, let's get it. So, to start off the bat, um, the thing is with you, you've been on and off of this. So I want to know, what exactly would you classify yourself as? Like, what do you do, man?
So I feel like I'm just an inconsistent entrepreneur, content creator. The reason why I'm very inconsistent is there's too many things I actually like doing, and that's my biggest problem. Like you'll see me trying to make YouTube videos, but then halfway through making a YouTube video, I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna start streaming. Or next thing you know, I'm looking into how to, create something like a new computer or do other things for investments, like getting into stocks, crypto, just the full 9 yards. I'm trying to get into all of it. So I don't know, but I did end up becoming somewhat successful into paying off all my loans through stocks and crypto. So that's at least one goal scratched off. So right now I'm kind of just jumping back and forth with trying to figure out what I'm trying to do.
Yes. Okay. So you're still unaware of what you're doing entirely, but you've got a basis of, here's what I like, here's what I'm doing. Sort of, how I'm doing it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
I see
there's
where
so
I
many
got it
things I
from.
like, and now I'm just like, wait, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to do that? Ah, okay. Now I just need to really figure out like what I'm gonna do next.
Makes
So
sense.
like, I scratched off one thing, so now I just need another thing to scratch off.
Mm.
So I feel like I'm doing really well. I feel like I could be excelling faster if I stick with one, but since I'm doing everything all at once, it's all going at a steady pace and it's like consistent, but not at a noticeable pace where you'll be able to look at it and be like, wow, you're growing. No, no, it's very, very slow. It almost looks like it's at a plateau.
Mm-hmm. I see. Makes sense. I mean, that's how I've been for quite some time. Me, how many times I've, stopped and started and, all of that. So, but enough about me. This isn't about me. It's about you. So, you know, over the time that you've done this, what have you found that has helped you the most in anything?
So towards anything.
Like everything that it is that you're doing, like the crypto, the YouTube, the Twitch, all that stuff. What have you found that has helped you the most?
So it's kind of a mix of two things that contradict each other. It's getting up and doing it and scheduling, so organizing for the most part. The reason why I say they contradict each other is because you just got to get up and do it sometimes. But at the same time, you need to have a little bit of a schedule to keep yourself in place if you tend to forget. I tend to forget a lot, and me getting up and doing it and kind of just going by impulse, like first thought in my head, and just kind of like executing the task helps me out with any of this. Like I wake up and I'm just thinking about crypto. Okay, cool. Well, first thing I do, I look at the market. Oh wow, the market's doing pretty bad right now. I could probably buy in, or it's just things like that. Like, what is the first thing you do when you wake up? Like, I know there's some people who out there, the first thing they do is they look at their emails, they look for messages on their phone. Like, what's the first thing you do when you wake up and look at your phone too? That kind of brings into good habits and bad habits. If you start creating these habits or schedules, you start to get used to doing them. And I guess for my perspective, I actually do a little bit better with that because
Hold on. Oh
I
fuck. Ah.
don't die on me.
Oh. Good. Continue. Sorry about that. That's going in the
It-
that's going in the video.
nice.
Oh, me being a
Okay.
dumbass. I'm sorry. Go for it.
But yeah, I just just reacting to whatever thoughts you have. That's probably the best thing you can do, because there's a lot of times where when I think too much or I'm looking at a schedule too much, and I kind of get discouraged and I overthink, the possibilities. And sometimes having a schedule is good. It's really good actually. But if you know it's somewhat of a problem as well, break out of the schedule every once in a while and just do the impulse that you have in mind. Um, I feel like it's good also. It's good and bad, but there are some drawbacks you can see, but that's probably the best thing I can say for doing all of this, because if I just had a schedule, I know for a fact if I wake up, you know, make my cup of coffee, I look at the schedule that I have drawn out on my whiteboard, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's just the
Okay.
way I probably am, but other people might have the same problem, but you know,
Okay. Okay. I feel like you're getting a little bit further ahead than I wanted you to, because some of the things that you're talking about are questions that I do have written down, and like I said, we only have 20 minutes, so
oh, okay. Well,
I
I
appreciate
hope
the
I answered
enthusiasm.
some of it.
You answered quite a bit. I'll still ask it because there might be different answers that you could provide. Um, but I find it weird, the way that you think of that, like get up and do things, but I still need to be organized. But if I'm organized, I don't want to do it. So like, but it's a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. If it's too organized and I'm like just there looking at it, I'm probably not gonna want to end up doing it because there's other stuff I want to do that I have in my mind. Like it's kind of like you want to do multiple things at once, but you're gonna do the thing that seems most appealing to you at the time. So
Yeah,
you have a
of
different
course.
priority list. And if that's kind of your new priority, maybe that should be at the top.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
obviously. Well, I mean, in sort of in this realm of conversation, um, what is it that drives you? What drives you the most?
I think I just want to live, you know, um, live passively. Like, what is the term? I want to be able to live without working too much. I want to be able to enjoy also, the career that I'm pursuing, which
Hmm.
there's too many things I love doing. Like, again, also I want to get into real estate too, at least with rental properties, maybe Airbnbs, but more so the rental properties. And I want to be able to cash flow all this rental, this income, like with
Yeah.
crypto mining, maybe a stock dividend portfolio, or even just rentals.
Makes sense.
Um,
So,
that's
so what drives you is your end goal.
I don't think it's so much the end goal, because the end goal would actually be to just enjoy life without worrying about bills. You
So,
know,
financial freedom.
even if I only made like, let's just say, I'm making like 3 grand or 2 grand a month without having to do anything, just achieving that financial freedom
Mhm.
and being able to just have everything paid for.
Well, that answers the next question of what was the end goal. So, on to that. And you sort of touched on this already, but what would you say is your biggest? So, just a single one. What is your biggest drawback?
Yeah, the biggest
Why is it
drawback
that
would
you're
be,
inconsistent?
okay, I think sometimes I do get discouraged. That's probably one of the biggest things, and that's why when I have these schedules and I'm just looking at them, I sit on my computer, looking at everything. I'm about to get ready, and then for some reason I just get discouraged. I lose the confidence, I lose the motivation, and that's where I need that other part of me to just slap me in the face and be like, "Hey, just do it." Like,
Yeah.
not sponsored by Nike, but just do it.
Hmm. So it's the fact. So your biggest drawback is the fact that you get discouraged out of nowhere, or what
I
discourages
think
you?
I don't think there's really anything that discourages me. I think it's more just not wanting to do it, no confidence, and just
Mm.
something that's beneath the skin that kind of just stops me from like actually doing anything. And I don't know why that's even a thing, but it just happens. And I'm like, why am I stopping? What's stopping me? I don't see no brakes. My feet aren't getting dragged. I'm actually still running, but I'm running in place.
Yeah.
There's something that's stopping me. It's like an invisible wall that I'm not hitting, and I'm just consistently moving. So I don't know why that's a thing, but it is.
Okay. Fair enough. On the topic of drawbacks and the whole discouragement and whatnot, but any regrets?
Regrets? No, because I kind of do. Since I said I do react on impulse,
Hmm.
I really have no regrets with all of it. I kind of just jump in. I learned a little bit about it. They're my educated guesses, or you know, I'm thinking about, should I do it? I think of the pros and cons, and then I outweigh them. And even if I don't know 100%, if I at least know a good amount, I end up just doing it. I
Hmm.
don't see no problems in doing that, especially if you're a little bit educated in the thing that you're trying to pursue.
Hmm.
There are risks with anything in life.
Of course.
So, you have to take risks sometimes to be able to get things, in life.
Yeah.
That's a big thing with investments too. So if you do want to be able to achieve something, investments, you can't have, I think the term was FOMO. You can't have fear towards, what's it called? Invest, or like putting money in something, seeing that, oh, you're not going to get anything out of it. But I do see it better than going to the, what's it called? The casino and gambling your money away, because there's kind of like so much you can do to actually have in your hands to control it.
Hmm.
At least you can do your better judgment through information and other stuff like that. When you do investing, with whether it's anything like, oh, I want to create a business, oh, I want to do stocks, crypto, real estate, content creation, you have control of everything, and it's kind of up to you to do everything yourself. And if you don't at least put some time and effort into it, you might not be able to fully potentially do it.
Yeah.
So that's the way I see it.
Makes sense. Okay. So we're coming down to the last two questions. Well, last question essentially. And this one's a little bit more of a thing between you and I. So I say that you were my mentor for when I first started. I've always exclaimed that. Like, I mean, at the start of this, to any of my friends that I talk to, and then to my viewers on Twitch and whatnot, like, I've always said it. You're my mentor. What do you think of that? The fact that I acknowledge you as a mentor, and do you think you did well?
So first time I heard you say that, I was pretty in shock that I actually made an impact on someone's life because I
Hmm.
never really thought that I'd be able to do that.
Hmm.
And that's probably the biggest part at first. And I think after the fact that happened, I was like, well, damn, okay. I guess I could probably do the same as well with a little bit of content creation and hopefully touch other people and help them out. So that kind of also drives me a little bit with wanting to help other people out. Um, I guess not so much with the content creation, but at least giving somebody else the knowledge or tools to do some of the stuff that I'm interested in, or at least enjoy some of the stuff that I'm interested in.
Hmm.
Um, but in all honesty, I really didn't like know how to feel about that
Hmm.
because at the same time I was aware I was, but I think also um I think also being in the current position just now I'm thinking really deep about this
Yeah,
now.
yeah, you're thinking real hard on this.
Huh. It's because I never thought about it. That's why I'm like, wait,
And that's why I brought up the question, because I never thought that you thought about it. It was more of a passing thing, like, yeah, he's my mentor, cool, whatever.
okay.
So that's why I bring the question to light.
Could you remind me the question?
Yeah, of course. So I say that you were my mentor for when I first started. What do you think of that? And do you think you did well?
I guess to finish off the last part of the question, I think I did pretty well because you are pursuing something that you enjoy and there's nothing stopping you. And I think it's not just me, but I think there was other people as well that really strike you to have that confidence to just, hey, I got that confidence. And I think also I see some of the confidence in you, and that's what kind of gives me some of that confidence as well. Like the student teaches the teacher kind of deal. And I'm just like, okay, like you have the confidence, the part that I'm missing, and then I'll give you like the knowledge, or I don't know.
Yeah,
But
honestly, that's what I get most out of you, knowledge. Because you are very knowledgeable on a lot of things. I will not deny that. Whenever I need information about something, what's the first thing I do when I talk to you? I ask you about it. And usually you
I
give me an answer of sorts.
think I give you too much of an answer.
Usually.
I end up giving you a full like
Lecture.
story.
Yeah.
Like, here's the full rundown of it. Like with Forex,
Oh
I
my
gave you a
gosh.
full rundown of everything I knew. I was
Yeah.
like, here's A, B, C, like, you know,
Yeah. I mean, in when it came down to streaming, PC building, forex, real estate, crypto, like honestly, you've had me enough knowledge, and I feel as though if anyone currently listening or watching, wants some information, definitely check out Bailey's, links. I'll put them down below.
definitely.
Hopefully, because the type of content that I think Bailey excels at is, information. So if you were to make tutorials or just, a podcast even of him talking about things, he would do very well. That is what I think personally. This is the first time I'm telling him this. So,
Yeah.
I
I wasn't
feel
aware of that.
I feel like you could excel at that, and I mean, I can give you more information later on about that. Why I think so, because again, gotta cut it short here. Um, but I'm I I thank you for teaching me all those times.
Nah, thank you. You gave me an experience.
You and I both. So let's move on to the last portion of this. The next question is, who would you like to see me interview?
Mm. I think you probably already have interviewed him a little bit. This is more offline though. Um, Moist God. I
Yeah.
think I would like to see a part two that's online with him. He's a really good person to talk to. You get a lot of information too.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like he's a perfect guy to do it. Moist God, moist God, moist God. He's really good. He brings a lot of good impressions to the table too. Be real fun.
I agree. I After the conversation we had, though him and I have our differences, it was a very fun conversation that we had. I will
Yeah,
not deny that.
yeah. That was really interesting. Had a lot of fun with that. I was like, this would be really good.
Okay, we'll see what happens in the future. I'll reach out and hopefully he's interested. I think he will be. So now, for the moment some of you might have been waiting for, Bailey, you get to ask me one question and one question only. What is your question?
Okay, help me understand a little bit of your short-term and long-term financial goals.
Oh,
So I could probably help you offline with a little bit of them, at least with information. And yeah,
okay. So we're delving
you don't have
into
to say everything,
no, of
but
course, of
like,
course. We're delving into not we're no longer on the career life portion of this. This is
well,
nice.
this is part of a little bit of a career. This is a mix of your career with also your personal life, and it
Yeah.
gives you a little bit of both.
So, in terms of my short-term financial goals, um, the short term is to um, make a small business that runs itself and provides me just a little bit of extra money so that I may start another business with that.
Nice.
So, so the goal with that is to create uh, sustainable, a self-sustainable business that will help me grow another one. The end goal is that same thing that you said earlier that we were talking about, the financial freedom, because I would like to work 20 hours a week and be able to take a vacation while I work and work from anywhere and not have to go to a place 9 to 5 and do that. The goal is for me to make my own money so that I can live a sustainable life. I don't want to like live extravagant or anything. I want to be able to relax because that's something I can't do right now, as you can see. I'm all over
Yeah.
the place. So, small business to make another business. It's my goal. I think I've set a number before. I can't remember it. I think it was like I'm going to have at least 10 businesses. That's the goal for now.
10 businesses.
Yeah, 10 of them. And they're
You
all going
might
to
as
be
well get
under the
into drop
umbrella.
shipping.
I know. The umbrella is IS Studios, which you can go ahead and get your apparel at infinitely at isstudios.co. Infinitely Simple Apparel. Um, so yeah, does that satisfy the question?
Yeah, more or less. I'll get more information offline about the plan, but I know that wasn't part of my question. It was just the goal.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, definitely we can continue this conversation offline. And if you all want to see more of Bailey, of course, check him out. And maybe eventually soon Him and I will start some. Who knows? We'll see.
Definitely.
So, thank you, Bailey, for coming on to the Life Shred podcast. I do appreciate you accepting and, letting me pick
Thank
at
you
your
for
brain
having
for a
me.
while. Of course. It was a pleasure. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you've made it this far, much love. Please, 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 if you enjoyed, leave a like rating. Subscribe.
Don't
maybe.
forget to comment, like, subscribe.
All the good stuff. And if you want to see more of either myself or Bailey, check the links in the description, and there will be plenty. Other than that, until next time. Laters.